They say the future always whispers before it shouts, but sometimes the whispers come from voices we've forgotten. In the 1940s, when the world was still reeling from war, a quiet genius sat in a dim office in Washington, D.C., staring at a blank page. His name was Vannevar Bush, a scientist and engineer, a man who had helped build radar and guided the secret projects that ended the war. And yet, what he left behind wasn't a weapon, but a dream. He imagined something called the Memex, a desk, yes, a simple desk, where all of human knowledge could be stored, linked, and searched. Not just by page, not just by book, but by connection, by the way ideas relate to one another. He wrote, "Consider a future device for individual use, which is a sort of mechanized private file and library, a Memex." This was 1945. No one had heard the word hyperlink. The word internet wouldn't exist for another 3 decades, and yet Bush was already describing it. Think about that. While most of humanity was still learning to rebuild bombed-out cities, this man was imagining a world where knowledge flowed freely between people, a web of ideas bigger than any library, faster than any newspaper, and more intimate than any classroom. But here's the tragedy. His idea was too early. The world read his article, published in The Atlantic, and then mostly forgot him. The machines of his time couldn't catch up. Vacuum tubes, clunky levers, mechanical reels, they simply weren't ready to hold the weight of his vision. And so Bush faded from memory. His dreams sat in dusty archives waiting. Decades later, a young computer scientist named Douglas Engelbart stumbled across Bush's work. Engelbart went on to invent the computer mouse and much of what we now call modern computing. Others, Tim Berners-Lee, the father of the World Wide Web, would take that thread even further. They all credited Bush as the spark, the invisible ancestor of the internet. And yet today, if you ask most people who Vannevar Bush was, silence. The world remembers the men who built bombs, but not the man who predicted Wikipedia. There's something painfully human about that. We often overlook the prophets of knowledge until their prophecies come true. Imagine if Bush could see us now. Billions of people connecting through invisible threads, libraries that fit in a pocket, friendships formed across oceans, arguments too, chaos, disinformation, beauty, laughter, all of it. The messy miracle of humanity woven into one vast, endless web. The internet is not perfect. It's not what Bush imagined, but the seed he planted has changed everything about how we think, how we remember, how we dream. And maybe that's the lesson, that genius is not always about building what you can touch. Sometimes it's about imagining what no one else dares to. So the next time you open your browser, or search for an answer, or fall into a late-night rabbit hole of human curiosity, remember the man in 1945, scribbling about a machine that didn't yet exist. Vannevar Bush, the forgotten genius who predicted the internet.